indeed like a massive change here, right? That Parity is starting to build more products in-house. It's in many ways like a 180-degree turn from, sort of building the ecosystem, the open and permissionless platform, and then letting anyone and everyone go and come up and build cool stuff. That was the initial idea. It worked to a certain extent, but I think we can all agree that it didn't work perfectly, right? It's not that we got really the, particularly innovative products that were built on Polkadot that really took advantage of the underlying features that it presented, right? And when over the last couple of years, some, new interesting things came out, Hyperliquid for some reason comes to mind. In theory, something like that could have been built on Polkadot, but it wasn't. It was built on a standalone chain, right? And so we didn't really get the kind of developers that took full advantage of the platform and the technical prowess that Polkadot represents. And that's kind of unfortunate because it really means that Polkadot was never really allowed to shine because it never really had these kind of killer apps that I guess everyone was hoping and wishing for. And I think now what, under Gavin's new vision, since he assumed the CEO position again, he wants to bring this capability back in-house. He wants to bring it to Parity. And Parity is, of course, the entity that is best placed to build the kind of products that can only be built on Polkadot, right? That really take advantage of the technical capabilities because Parity, like nobody else, understands the sheer power, right? The engine power that Polkadot provides. Let alone Polkadot Jam, right? I mean, we're not even talking about Polkadot Jam yet, right? The raw, the compute power that it provides, right? Very few people understand it, and therefore, they never really built anything that kind of properly took advantage of that. And I think with Parity in the driving seat for product development, that is going to change, right? Because Parity understands what Polkadot can actually do. I mean, at this point in the cycle, we don't need another DEX or a perp DEX or a meme coin launchpad. That already exists in 27 different ecosystems, and everyone and their grandma has one. So I mean, we're now kind of in a situation, right? And it's of course also been as an investor being a bit infuriating because you have so many copies, right? And yet another this and yet another that, right? And I mean, if you also see a little bit what's happening in the L2 space on Ethereum, right, where I'm also spending quite some time. I mean, there aren't really any great innovations coming out of that. It's copying, right? I mean, the L2s are kind of on Ethereum are kind of dying as well. But and then everyone's trying to make another quick buck and so on. Copying some existing products that have proven successful. And now with Polkadot and the new strategy here, under Parity, that's a complete departure, right? We're going into an entirely different direction. As I said, saying the thing, only Parity, I think, at the moment, understands what can really be built on Polkadot. Now, that's going to change, right? That's going to change. If, and that would be my prediction, right? Parity comes up with a bunch of killer apps, let's call it, right? Then also other developers are going to wake up to that and say oh, amazing. Now that this thing exists, what can we build on top of that, right? And I think that's really where it's going to start getting exciting because then only on Polkadot you have these kind of applications.